Hey, I'm coming on today to talk about our guides, our angels, and asking for their help. So, if you don't already know me, I'm Karen Foote from Rebounds Reiki and Massage here in Westwood, New Jersey. And I had a cool story that happened to me the other day, which inspired me to want to share this live today, even though, honestly, I don't love doing the lives. It makes me nervous. Hey, Anna. I just wanted to let you guys know that it's a good idea to call on your spirit guides, your angels, and then let them give you signs and kind of notice them, like get around. Thanks. So back when I was new doing all of this stuff, like 10 years ago, I was encouraged to do the same thing by my teachers and other healers and books I read. So I would put the call out in a meditation, like guides come to me, however you want to phrase it. And I noticed a pattern. I did have a bunch kind of show up, like just in meditation, almost like the veil gets thinner and then there they are standing there. So I was always feeling lots of Franciscan saints as guides of mine. So I imagine I must have had many lifetimes as a Franciscan or working in that realm. So they were kind of buddies of mine on the other side, and some of the stories with that, like 10-year ago event, I asked them to present in real life to me. After I kind of got to know them in my meditations, I kind of got familiar with their energy and their identities, because they're kind of known in our culture, and at least in my culture too, being raised Catholic, and my dad is big into the Franciscans also. So. And they presented all in a week's time in different ways. One time I had gotten a Reiki magazine, and I opened up the Reiki magazine, and there was a huge article on Padre Pio, who's a Franciscan. And so I opened up the article to see, it wasn't even just like a little picture of Padre Pio, it was like the whole page was one whole page was just his face, and the other like rest of the pages were about an article about him and his healing work. So that was like one thing that happened to me. And then Father Michael Judge isn't a saint. At least I don't know if he's considered a saint, but no, he's not, because I think he admitted to being gay. But he was the first recorded death at September 11th, and he was the chaplain for the church that was near whatever, the fire station, one of the I forget which one, but the one that responded to the call. So there's photographs of him being carried out of World Trade Center, like rubble, or like the beginnings of the disaster, and so he identified as being one of my guides. And I went to a firehouse, like a fire safety event for kindergartners back when my sons were little. And I was at a table, and I just looked up at the wall, and there's a whole wall to like Father Michael Judge. And I was just like, oh, there he is. Like I already knew he was one of my guides, but there he was on the wall. And there's more to that. There's like more to that story, but I don't want to get too carried away telling all of these different things. But when you make the connection, first of all, that you have guides, and then you try to, you put the call out, like, just show me some signs, like, help me out, like, comfort me, show me that you're there, and then, like, picture it like you're sending a message in a bottle, and you just, like, trust that it'll get heard, and your message will be received. So, an example of this was just from the other day. I was, like, nervous about this next venture I'm going into, even though I'm excited about it. And I was just like, come on, angels, come on, guides, like someone give me something, And I started looking around. I was just telling this story last night. I like immediately started looking around, like as soon as like the call out was sent, I was like looking. And it's like, you feel like a pathetic, you can feel like a little bit like needy, like where is it? I want to see it right now. So of course, it wasn't immediate necessarily. Sometimes it can be, which is always great. But in that case, it wasn't immediate. And then I actually went on with my afternoon. And then, within probably 30 minutes, I walked into a shop, and on TV they had the Columbus Day Parade, and there was a whole float dedicated to Padre Pio. And I walked in just in time to see the float with Padre Pio. They zoomed in, they showed it from like 6 different angles, and it was just like comical to me, because it was almost like they were on it too long for the film crew to like show Padre Pio's float. Like maybe 10 seconds would have been enough. It seemed like they were on it for 2 minutes, and it was very funny to me. And I got the message loud and clear, and it was a nice reminder, like he's in my posse, he's one of my spirit guides, or whatever you want to, label it as. And then as soon as that segment was off, someone just came and grabbed the remote and changed the channel to a whole nother channel, whole nother show. And I just walked in at that perfect divine timing. So it was just such a nice confirmation, reminder about, our connection to our guides and our team, and knowing that they're listening and they find clever ways to get those messages to us. Like, what I didn't go into that shop right away. Like, if I had gone into that shop sooner, I wouldn't have noticed it. Just the way it's orchestrated is beyond anything you can do as just like a mere human. So I just, that was just a small story I wanted to share. It's not terribly long. I could go on and on and on about my other stories, which are very cool too. But the fact that, Padre Pio was there back in the past in that Reiki magazine article, and then again here, it's just nice. So that's all. I just wanted to give you that oomph of encouragement to talk out loud or shout it in your head, however you want to communicate it, to make that intention to want to connect to your guides, first of all, your spirit team, your angels, and then it's okay to communicate with them and ask them to send you signs or send you messages. And it could be numbers or feathers or messages you just hear on the radio for like that 5 seconds that you're scrolling through or whatever. So that's it. Have a good one. Thanks. Bye.